You never know what the universe is going to throw at you.
It's been years since Fergie and Josh Dumahel got divorced, and since then, she's stayed completely silent on the reason behind why, and so has he. But now he's remarried to a 28-year-old woman named Audra Mari, and she's currently pregnant with their first child, his second, because he has a son named Axel with Fergie. And now, the truth behind why they actually split is coming out. Josh wanted a simple life. He wanted to move back to North Dakota and have more kids, while Fergie wanted to keep living her life and building her career in Los Angeles. They outgrew each other, he moved on, and got the life he wanted, in the place he wanted. He's remarried to a woman who lives in North Dakota, they're going to have a baby soon, and Fergie got the life she wanted too. But what actually went wrong with these two? Did something darker happen under the surface?
Something that was kind of shocking, a story we broke late on Friday here, because Fergie filed to divorce Josh Dumahel. They've been apart for almost 2 years now. Neither of them ever filed, but Fergie filed divorce docs.
We're at H&M in Times Square, and I'm bawling my face off.
Heard that there's been, things said about her.
And people are going after her, and you're just...
I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
Josh was overcome with a wave of emotion when coming to the defense of Fergie.
You know what, though? We're great friends. Josh and I, there's so much love that we have for each other.
Yeah.
We really like each other.
Rumors began to swirl about him being with a stripper. About a year later, Josh publicly admitted being in that club, but has always dismissed the dancer's claims as, quote, absolutely ridiculous.
What's the last lie you told to get out of something?
Both out promoting stuff.
Yeah, and so in these interviews, started getting weird. They kept going to like first kiss. We just felt false, and it just started getting weird.
It's been a little over a year since Josh Dumahel announced his split from ex-wife Fergie, and it looks like the actor's ready for more love and more kids. Duhamel, who is 45 years old, told Dax Shepard on his Armchair Expert podcast, quote, "It's more about finding someone young enough to have kids." Now, while many on social media applauded his honesty, others kind of took offense to it.
Josh Dumahel is headed for the altar. The actor announced his engagement to beauty queen Audra Mari over the weekend.
We just made it work, We knew that we were right for each other.
More kids in the future?
I hope so. That's the plan.
Power couple Fergie and Josh Dumahel were all over the tabloids when they first started dating in 2007. The world-famous superstar and the Hollywood actor officially tied the knot in 2009, and for all of us, they were couple goals. I mean, from an outsider's perspective, the pair created a beautiful life together. They built a cozy home that they shared with their son Axel and went on so many memorable vacations as a family. Then, out of nowhere, everything between them came crashing down. After 8 years of a seemingly perfect marriage, Fergie and Josh announced their split. In September 2017, they released a joint statement about their mutual breakup. The real kicker is they confirmed that they had actually gone their separate way months before, and we were all left speechless. They were extremely low-key about the breakup too, which made things even more confusing. Unlike the majority of messy, high-profile divorces, they didn't have a public custody battle, let alone exchange angry words about each other. We needed answers, and they weren't explaining anything. So that made everyone start wondering what actually happened behind the scenes. And there are some pretty insane theories. One of them dates all the way back to when rumors first sparked that Fergie and Josh were dating. Get this. That was in September 2004. They first met during a shoot for the television show Josh was acting for called Las Vegas, which featured the Black Eyed Peas, the band Fergie is the frontwoman for. And as we know, the timeline goes, they became official in 2007, got married in 2009, then their son, the now 7-year-old Axel, was born in 2013. Their divorce was finalized in late 2019. What's rarely talked about is that 1 year into their marriage, the talk around town was that Josh was cheating on Fergie. Word on the street is, while away for filming Life as We Know It, Josh slept with an exotic dancer during a night out with his buddies at a strip club. When the dancer started catching flack for allegedly making up the whole thing, she sold the story for $20,000 to the press, and then something even crazier happened. She passed a polygraph test. Because of that, a lot of people started to think it wasn't just some petty gossip and it had to be true. And apparently the whispers made their way around to Fergie herself, but they either ignored them or refused to believe them because she chose to stay together with Josh for many more years. And she may have even alluded to Josh being unfaithful. Fergie said that about 3 years after the exotic dancer drama that they went through some terribly difficult times, that made her and Josh stronger as a unit. What's interesting is that Josh completely agreed. Was that his way of owning up to his mistake? If it was, Fergie must have thought so too, because some close source claims that she started sending spies to keep a close eye on her then husband. We can only assume that if it comes down to hiring spies to follow your partner's every move, at some point during your relationship, trust has been seriously broken. Apparently, the spies watched Josh at a Beverly Hills event in 2016, and they caught him red-handed. He supposedly had groups of pretty women surrounding him and trying to flirt with him, and guess what? He flirted back. So of course, the spies told Fergie about his suspicious behavior, and when she confronted him, insiders say he flat out denied it, and that's not even the worst of it either. According to other sources, Fergie made surprise visits on the set of Buddy Games, Josh's movie co-starring Olivia Munn. She must have suspected something was brewing between the two, and maybe that was her way of stopping the chemistry before it turned into something more. So some are saying that it's possible Fergie walked away from her marriage with Josh because he just couldn't stop his eyes from wandering. Others are saying that Fergie and Josh simply didn't have anything in common and made vastly different lifestyle choices. The glamorous singer is a fan of a well-glamorous lifestyle, and Josh is known for being down-to-earth kind of guy. This resulted in a lot of work schedules that didn't allow them to spend a lot of quality time together. They first tried to make things work by creating a rule that they couldn't spend more than 2 weeks apart, and honestly, friends said they tried to stick to it, but more and more opportunities were presented that they couldn't turn down. Unfortunately, that resulted in them rarely seeing each other at all. Another factor in their relationship falling apart is that Josh wanted to have a bigger family. That makes sense considering that he is the eldest of 4 siblings. However, for Fergie, that wasn't exactly high on her list of priorities. We have to understand that Fergie's childhood was a whirlwind, and she was brought up in a divorced household. Unlike Josh, her idea of a family unit is probably less traditional. What shocked everyone though was what Josh said in an interview with Dax Shepard on his podcast Armchair Expert in 2018. Josh said he wants to have more children soon because he's now at the age where he isn't considered young anymore. But it wasn't the next words that came out of his mouth which angered a lot of fans. He said, and I quote, "It's more about finding someone young enough to have kids. It's not that I'm out there just trying to bleep anything. That's not who I am. I'm trying to find a girl that I can be with and have a family with." Many took this to mean that Fergie wasn't interested in Josh anymore or even attractive to him because she wasn't in her 20s anymore. Others were quick to jump to his defense and clarify that he meant if Fergie wasn't willing to have more kids and he was, then it would be fair to stay despite their incompatibility. Either way, Josh found another woman, and much younger one at that, whose family ideals he has stated align with his more closely. Josh began dating former Miss World America Audra Mari in 2019 after being introduced through a mutual friend. The couple bonded over them both being from North Dakota, and soon enough, they had PDA moments at the airport and shared photos of themselves celebrating their family members' birthdays together. Josh and Audra hit it off fast, to say the least. In 2020, Josh spoke about Audra being his girlfriend during an interview on the Dan Patrick Show for the first time. Also, during an interview with Entertainment Tonight's Lauren Zima, Josh was asked when he knew that Mary was the one, and he said pretty early on. It was undoubtedly love at first sight. So it was no surprise when Josh popped the question to Audra on her 28th birthday on January 8th this year. He was quick to post about his new fiance on Instagram, and what happened next was crazy. Fergie, yes, Josh's ex-wife Fergie left a comment under the post congratulating Josh and Audra. Talk about being the bigger person. Props to Fergie because that's not something a lot of us would be caught doing. Josh and Audra were engaged for 9 months before getting married in their home state. They kept the wedding super small and intimate, and they reportedly celebrated at the local tavern Duffy's for food and drinks. As for Fergie, she is single and fully focused on loving herself and raising Axel. Despite their ups and downs, we can't deny that Fergie and Josh are doing a brilliant job at co-parenting. Their divorce, at least at surface level, was amicable, and they maintain a respectful, healthy relationship for the sake of Axel. In fact, when Buddy Games was released, Josh gave Fergie a shout out in the movie credits. During an interview on Today, Josh said it was Fergie who encouraged him to direct the film and gave him the confidence to complete his passion project. Although we were all sad to see a marriage we were rooting for end, we definitely can't help but smile at how mature both Fergie and Josh are being about the whole situation. So you've gotta let me know, why do you think Fergie and Josh really called it quits? Leave your comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more juicy stories like this.